If OSHA showed up at your door right now, would your team know what to do? Would you be ready? Well, it's kind of a scary thought. Nobody likes to think about that happening, but the truth is it happens every day. OSHA shows up somewhere and people are usually unprepared. In this video, I want to show you 3 things you can do to be better prepared for OSHA should they show up. Let's check it out. Hey, before we get to the video, I wanted to tell you how you can download a free OSHA audit checklist. All you have to do is go to my website, Help with OSHA, click on this button right here, and you will download a free OSHA audit checklist. This is the best way to prepare your team for an unexpected OSHA audit. All right, so there are 3 action steps you can do today to be better prepared for OSHA if they were to show up. The very first thing you need is you need a plan. You need a game plan for what to do should they arrive. Now, specifically, we need to know who needs to be contacted. Depending on your company, it might be the owner, it might be the CEO, there might be somebody out of town, but we need to make sure we know exactly who to contact. So having a contact list of people that we're going to reach out to should OSHA show up at the front door, that's the first thing we want. We want to know real clearly who needs to be involved. From there, we're going to have a plan about what to do for the opening conference, what conference room to use, where to have them stationed, because the first thing we're going to do is actually move them into a secure area where we can talk to them without being around a bunch of employees, right? You don't want to have the OSHA compliance officer put in the break room. Not because you don't trust your employees, but it's probably just not the best optics for everybody. We want to make sure that the OSHA inspector is actually comfortable and that they're in a secure place where we can have them ready for the opening conference. So having a plan is important. The next thing we want to have is a friendly attitude. Now, this sounds kind of counterintuitive, but you don't want to be a jerk. You don't want to be a jerk to OSHA. When they show up, one thing that will set you apart as a company is if you greet them with a smile. Ask them, hey, do you need to use the restroom? Bathrooms are right around the corner. Can I get you a cup of coffee while you're waiting for us to get the safety manager here? This is going to be the receptionist or the gatekeeper. We need to make sure the person that's the first person they contact greets them with a smile. That way they feel like, hey, these guys, they're just trying to do their work. They're not trying to be jerks. So we want to greet them with a friendly smile. That can start the inspection off on the right foot. It's very important that we have a friendly attitude and that everybody feels welcome. It doesn't mean that you're going to get walked over. It doesn't mean they're going to walk all over you or anything like that. It's simply, hey, I want you to treat me with respect. I'm going to treat you with respect, and we're going to be friendly about this whole situation. The third thing and the final thing I want to talk about today is something you need to take action on right now. And that's make sure that your OSHA records are accessible. That means you can get to your OSHA 300 log, you can get to your OSHA 300 summary. So every year you have to have an OSHA log that's kept of all the recordable accidents that happen at your company, all the recordable injuries. So you're going to have that for this current year, and then you actually have to go back 5 years. So one thing I promise, if you have an OSHA compliance officer show up at your front door, they're going to ask to see your OSHA records. And if you look at them like, what is he talking about? That's a big red flag. So we want to make sure that we have the OSHA records ready to go. I would encourage you today, get a binder, organize the binder so that you have the past 5 years of records, and you will have the OSHA log along with any accident records associated, minus the personal information for obvious reasons. But as far as the OSHA records, that should all be organized in one binder and one log, and it should be in a very easy to find place. We shouldn't have to go digging through somebody's desk drawers to find it. So in conclusion, these are the 3 things we need to have. When OSHA arrives, we want to make sure we have a game plan of who's going to be contacted, who's going to be involved. Then we're going to make sure we're treating them with a friendly face so that they know, hey, we're not jerks, you're welcome here, and we're going to get through this as quick and painless as possible. And then the third thing we want to have is to make sure we have all of our records accessible so we don't look at them like they're crazy when they ask for something we're required to have. So with that in mind, if you need any help with this, go to my website, helpwithosha.com. I've got a free checklist you can download today for what you need to do to be prepared for an OSHA audit. We just covered 3 things for when OSHA arrives, but that checklist is very easy to download and it will help you prepare for the unexpected OSHA audit. With that in mind, remember what you do matters. Safety is important. We want everybody to come in the same way and go home the same way they came in. We don't want anybody getting hurt on the job. Do everything you can to keep people safe because nobody should get hurt at work.